friends, it's been a little while. I've been caught up in some other things here this fall, but I'm back. I have a lot of cool videos planned for the upcoming year, and it's an exciting kind of end of the year time to think back on my first year of planning, because I've only been doing this about 12 months. I started last January, so today I'm going to be talking to you about my favorite things and the things I regret, or not necessarily regret, but that aren't earning their keep in my stash. So I got a whole pile of stuff. This is not all of it. This is segment one, just so that I didn't have too many things on my desk at the same time. So I'm going to go through those. It's a kind of a wide variety of stuff, some of which you've probably heard of in the planner community, and some of which are from other arts and crafts that I really enjoy. So let's get started. All right, first up, and I've got my planner here because this spread encompasses a bunch of things we're going to be talking about. So the first thing is my punch. I use this every week, I think, pretty much. I got the big size because I wanted to be able to do all the different sizes. The classic sizes, classic and mini. I'm glad I got this size. When I started, I was using a letter size planner. I don't anymore, so I don't often need one this big, but I'm glad to have the flexibility. I use this all of the time. If I were to repurchase it, I'm not confident I'd get the Happy Planner brand. I might get the ARC one. I'll post a link to a comparison of the different punches, but sometimes people don't like the other punches because they don't have exactly the same length of mushroom stem here. But because I am switching pretty much entirely to making my planners myself, there will be more about that in my upcoming 2022 lineup. As long as you're consistent, it doesn't really matter. They all work with the discs just fine. It's just that if you've got pages from different sources of punch, then you might notice a difference, but I don't think I'm going to. On the same vein, this is the We Are Memories Keepers single power punch. I use this a lot if I only have one hole to punch, or when I made my cover to get through this 10 mil laminate. I'll be talking more about the elements that went into this cover too, but I like punching my own, and I like making my own covers. If I didn't mention it, there will be links to all of these things in the description. All right, these. I love these Monami Plus Pen 3000. I got a pack of 48. They do come in smaller packs, but I like to have all of the colors. I love these because I can use them just as fine liners to write, but they do work like brush pens. And these are what I use in my planner pretty regularly to letter. And so this is a standard 1.5 inch box, and I can get a decent sized word in there. Or I also tend to letter in the little random spaces in my layout. And so with a brush pen this size, I can get a decent number of letters in there. Obviously it's still a little space intensive, but I really love adding that to my planner. It's kind of a way of kind of memory keeping without writing full sentences. So this was a new wine I tried that week, and so now I remember it. Going along with these, another favorite thing that isn't physical, so I won't show it to you, are the JLBCrafts lettering challenge. I will admit that I fell off once we did all 26 letters. I haven't been good about doing the capitals because I'm not that interested in the lettering capitals, but I am so pleased with I had never done brush lettering before this year, and I'm really pleased at how much better I have gotten. When it comes to writing, my favorite is the Energel 0.3 needle tip pen. This is not actually in this particular spread, but this is what I use. Let's see what other spreads I've got going on here. All right, I use it all the time. Here. This is what I use to write in 1.5-inch boxes because I don't like it when things have to span multiple lines if I can help it. And so I find that 0.3 is a really good size for that. Your mileage may vary, but this is my favorite just go-to writing pen. All right, this is a weird one. This is maybe the first one you won't have seen in just all your regular planner favorites. This is the gel press from Gelli. I got this at Michael's. I know it's available on Amazon. I'll link it. It's kind of weird. It's like a gelatin pressing plate. It just looks, mine's a little stained because I've been using it. It's just a clear piece of like weird jelly. And there are some great YouTube tutorials if you look for gel plate. I'm sure you'll find them. But I like to use them to do colored backgrounds. So this is pretty subtle, but I think you can tell, right? This is what white paper looks like. And I've done like some pink and orange and green to tie this planner page in with this printed page that I got from Planners Anonymous. And so I like sometimes not having the stark white, but I can just do this on my regular planner pages. And I didn't use this page. I should Frankenplan these together. But you can see other things bled through, the stamping bled through, but the gel press didn't. So I would feel totally fine about doing this on my regular planner pages and then being able to use it next week. And then you don't have to Frankenplan as much, right? Like, obviously I did because I always have other things happening, but it could be a way to add color. A lot of us like really neutral planner pages, and I do too, but this is a way to make one individual page less neutral without compromising the other pages. So I love this gel press, and it's actually also what I used to make this background. Obviously the flower was done separately, but to make the background on these covers, and they can look really cool. These were done making alcohol spots. I wouldn't do that on my planner pages because that will bleed through, but this isn't bleed through, this is done separately. It just worked really, really well. Okay, the last thing here are my inks. So this is just where I hold them, but what I want to talk about specifically is not this brand of ink. This is the Hampton Art, which I think has been discontinued from Joann. But what I really like is having these like small 1-inch samplers because I have all of these colors and I don't need big full-sized ones. I have it for the white and I have it for the black, which is elsewhere. But other than that, I like having the small ones because this is the ink that I'm using to do these backgrounds. Both this one and the cover are these stamping inks, and then I can use them to stamp, which I did here. But it's just a good way to get a lot of colors without a lot of storage space considerations. Another one I use all the time is this checklist stencil. You can see it in my planner here. I use that to put checklists in all of my planners and boxes. I use this all the time. These aren't ready to be in my favorites yet. I only got them about a week ago, but I'm really loving them. These are dotting markers. The Zig Clean Color dot markers are really popular, and I wanted to try them, but they're pretty expensive per pen. And I got these on AliExpress. I will link them below. They're a lot cheaper. They take a while to get here to the United States, but I'm really glad I tried them. I'm playing with them right now. Let me see if I can find a spread that shows them off pretty well. So this is my current spread right now. And you can see, nope, this is not a good example. Here, you can see them here. So instead of tracing them, I just dotted it, and then I can check them off. So that's really fun. Too early for these to be officially favorites, but they kind of go in with these for making my own checklists. Okay, in my regrets part, you'll see me talk about some washi in a minute. This is a favorite though. These are washi samples from an Etsy shop called Oso Washi. I'll link them below. These are simply gilded washi tapes that you can buy by the foot. And so they are more expensive per inch than buying them from Simply Gilded, but I prefer to have a variety rather than like I don't need yards of each one. I just want, many of these I only have 1 foot of, which is enough to go across 2 pages, like once across 2 pages, almost. Like these pages, these classic size pages are 14 inches wide total, but if we're talking about just going across the lines, it's close. It's good enough for me. So I really like that because storage is a huge problem for me. This is just an example because it's easy to show on camera, but all things Planners Anonymous. The covers, the stickers, the kits, all of it. I have no regrets. I have fallen deep down that rabbit hole. I love it so much. Check out Planners Anonymous if you haven't. The pricing is in Australian dollars, so if you're in the US, the conversion rate is in your favor. So much of my Planners Anonymous. I love the digital stuff. So this is Planners Anonymous. All these are Planners Anonymous. These are my recent ones. That one's not. This one. This one. A lot of great stuff from them. So check them out. This is the weekly kit, but my recommendation is pretty much for the whole shop. Oh, similarly, or on the same note, I'm not going to show it to you, but I love my printer. I love being able to print my own. So this is actually a Planners Anonymous digital kit that I printed everything out on. This one I was showing you earlier, this is printed on my printer. I'm not saying my printer specifically. I have an HP M255dw, which is a colored laser printer. I got laser printer because I wanted to be able to foil, so like I printed this and then foiled it. If that's not a thing that interests you, I've heard really good things about like the EcoTank kinds of printers that are inkjet, but I had separately already bought a laser printer for foiling, so not specific to my printer, but I love printing my own stuff and having that available to me. Similarly, I love my Silhouette Cameo. I use that to cut all the stickers. So like this was a digital kit that I printed, and all of these stickers are cut on my Silhouette Cameo. I have the Cameo 3, which is one model before what is current. I use it all of the time. As I've mentioned, I am space restricted, and so I can have so much digital artwork saved on my hard drive and not have to store any extra stuff. I mean, obviously the machine takes up space, but I use it both for planning and for other things. And actually I already owned it before I started planning. But on that note, this is my favorite sticker paper. This is from onlinelabels.com. They sell it through Amazon, but it's a little cheaper, including shipping, including 2-day shipping to or priority shipping, to get it directly from Online Labels. I'll post a link, but this is like the full white sticker paper. It works great on my printer and in my Silhouette. I also have the clear, and I'll post that also. Go to paper. This is from Staples. It's 28 pound, 98 brightness, bright white. This is what I print all of my like layouts on. If you use juicy pens, I will post a link too for a 32-pound paper. It's from HP. That is also excellent and I use it a lot. But this is my standard paper unless I know I'm doing something particularly juicy. So on that note, I won't post it, but let me find an example. So on that note, back to this spread, I have totally fallen in love with the digital program called Affinity Publisher. It is for doing like book layouts, and it's what I do to design all of my own layouts. So like this is one I designed myself for when I wanted to have like a full scene on one side. So these are like the full width of a Happy Planner box. It's just not the full height. And then on the right, I've got like my place for the whole week here and my habits, and those are just on there. I have totally fallen in love with designing my own layouts. That's going to be a huge part of my upcoming video about my planner lineup for next year. I do it all of the time, and I've decided there's not a lot of point in buying other people's pre-made planners because I end up making my own pretty much every week. So that is a huge love for me. Oh, and the last one, and this is maybe a little gauche to talk about things for my own shop, but are these glamour discs. Oh my god, I have loved this. So they're stickers, vinyl stickers that you put on your discs, and I have 18 colors and 13 shapes, and they are just so much fun. So there's a link for those below if you're interested. All right, now it's time for my regrets / not earning their keep. So a lot of these things are great and I love them, I just don't use them as much. So one of them is these bigger lettering pens. I love these. The Pentel Brush Sign Pens, the Le Pen Brush Pens. All of these are what are called small brush pens, and I really like them a lot, but they don't fit very well in my planner, and so I use the Monami a lot more. I used these to practice, but now when I'm actually lettering, I use the small ones. So love them, but don't use them a lot. All right, this one's personal, and you may feel differently. I bought a bunch of sticker books because I love putting stickers in my planner, and that's true, but I don't use them a lot. And they're taking up space. The thing is, I really love the Planners Anonymous ones, and I've used those quite a lot, but I really enjoy printing my own or doing a la carte from small sticker shops. And so these books where like I don't get to choose what I want, like it's just not my favorite thing. You know, I haven't used a single one of these, and I don't know that I would. So I kind of regret, I only have about 15 sticker books, and I only maybe regret like 5 of them, but they're just, I'm not sure they're earning their space in my studio, and like spaces that are premium. I have a lot of hobbies, and so everything kind of needs to be earning their keep, and I'm not sure these are. That's obviously very personal. These are one of the first things I bought when I started planning, and I do love them, the Mildliner highlighters. They're really fun. I just haven't found where they work best in my life. I'm determined to keep working at them, but they don't work for me right now, but I'm going to keep trying because I love them and I want to keep loving them. On a similar note, I got PaperMate Flair like 0.7 felt tip pens in a bunch of colors when I started, and it turns out that like 0.7 felt tip is like too big for me. I couldn't fit it in the boxes the way I wanted to, and I've given those away. This is my Bujo, and I wanted to love it, and I did for a little bit, but I just stopped. I started in April, and I stopped in June. I wanted something that was like a project every week, and I like that it was, but I stopped. So I really like this particular book. I'll put a link to it. It's cheaper than the Arch and Olive and other ones, with the 160 gram paper. It's really nice. I painted inside of it lightly. This is watercolor and it didn't come through. This is also watercolor and it didn't come through. This is more watercolor. These were colored pencils and markers. Nothing bled through. It's really nice. This is not a knock against Arch and Olive. They make beautiful things. They're very environmentally conscious. They're owned by like a small business and a woman. But I didn't know if I would use it, and so I didn't want to go whole hog on something I wasn't sure about, and I feel like that was justified by the fact that I stopped using it. Having said that, I have some new dot grid notebooks on their way. So perhaps I did not learn my lesson, but I'm going to use those for something different, and they're not going to be about decorating. I'm going to use them as a 5-year journal. All right, here's the planner you've seen a ton, and I'm just going to talk about the part of it I regret, which is that I bought an 18-month planner. This is kind of gives you an idea of what the original cover looked like. It's beautiful. I don't even mind the fact that it's, I never minded the fact that it's not as neutral as some of them, because I knew I was going to print pages pretty regularly, but it turns out that I print pages pretty much every week, or scrapbook paper or something, or lights. Ooh, I didn't talk about that. We'll come back to that. But 18 months is longer than I can stick with anything. 6 months seems to be my limit, so I feel bad that I bought an 18-month planner. I might come back to it and redate it another time, but I just need to know myself, and 18 months is too long. Okay, this is going back to a favorite. Lights Planner Action Blackout Pages. Love them, love them, love them. They are so much fun to play with. They make your stickers really pop. Huge fan, great quality. Your stickers, it's really easy to reposition them when you first put them down if you don't do it quite right. Love it. Big props to Lights Planner Action. All right, I think that's all of my regrets. Fortunately, I've been really happy with the things I've bought. As I've mentioned, there'll be links to everything below. I hope you found this helpful. If you are new to planning, I hope that these help to guide you. If you're a planner veteran, I hope you still got some inspiration, since some of this stuff is kind of from outside the planner world, like this gel press. Anyway, I hope you found this helpful. If you did, please consider hitting like. If you'd like to see more content from me, including my new planner for next year, which is going to be like a whole craft project, hit the subscribe button. That should be coming out soon. Also, I think I'm going to be doing a flip through of my whole year, so if you like the spreads you saw, there's going to be a lot more of that coming up soon. So I will talk to you later. Have a great end of the year, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, friends.